everyone, Anita here. Before I jump into the main topic of this video, I would like to explain what you are seeing in the background. The footage is from an unfinished painting that had an unexpected accident. I will not be finishing this painting anytime soon, if ever actually, so I thought I would just share this as a background to this video. So don't get surprised, the footage is cut at some point. You will see why if you stick to the end. And yeah, just pretty much enjoy. And I have to say this is really funny too, because I never know how to start these kind of videos, because I want this smart, witty intro, but I'm neither. So it's always very tricky to come up with something interesting to say. And here it is, you know, perfect intro to get me started. It has nothing to do with the content of the video itself, you know, but it gets things going. So yay for me. I'm very happy. Okay. Let's just get to the point. I swear, I'm a bit high on coffee right now. It took a lot to start this recording. I'm really out of practice, and recording once again makes me nervous. So bear with me, please be kind. if I giggle in a bit of a nervous way. So today I wanted to talk about where I've been, why I haven't been making any videos, and what you can expect from now on, in the future. So as you've probably noticed, I've been missing in action for quite some time. And if you're following me on Facebook, you have probably caught on that I've been struggling with just getting inspiration and staying motivated. For a while now, I had this thing where I wanted to paint really badly, but I just couldn't find anything exciting enough to paint. Even if I loved the sketch that I made, I just wasn't very much into painting it, you know? The idea of spending hours and hours in a painting, it just wasn't very appealing anymore. It's very hard to explain, but I was losing focus somewhere in the middle of painting and just wasn't happy anymore. So I tried mixing it up a bit. I bought some wooden boards. I wanted to paint on those because I really like doing that back in the day. There's something really nice about painting on wood. I thought it would help me just get a bit of a different excitement from painting, but unfortunately, it was going actually pretty well until an accident happened to the painting that you're watching right now. And I just didn't feel like picking it anymore. Yeah, I remember that evening so well. I just dropped everything, and that was the last moment I painted for a very long time. Another thing is, as you know, because I've mentioned it before, I was never a sketchbook person. I spent a lot of time doing this mind-numbing day job that didn't require me to think, much. Not at all, maybe, but just I didn't have to think much. So I could use that time, you know, my mind could soar wherever it wanted, pretty much. And that was my sketchbook. That was my way of sketching. I was thinking up ideas and refining them in my head while I was working. So by the time I got home and had the time to paint, I had a clear idea of what I wanted to do without losing that valuable time for sketching, which, when I think about it, was a very stupid thing to do. So when I started working from home and my whole life started revolving around painting, my focus was solely on the painting I was doing. Painting is not a mind-numbing job. You have to constantly think about what you're doing. So I lost that time where I was thinking up new ideas. And that thing, you know, really started weighing me down. You know, for the longest time it wasn't the problem, because of course I had some ideas saved up. But at some point they ran out, and it started becoming a problem to make new ones. And it might sound funny, but it was a problem to me, because I had that line in my head that I couldn't just draw a doodle I needed to have this really detailed thought through painting with a story behind it. And at some point, the stress of not being able to generate ideas quickly it's like a vicious circle, you know, you don't make ideas, you get stressed about it, which prevents you from making new ideas because you constantly keep thinking about that you're not making those ideas. It's very complicated, but you see where I'm going with that. Basically, I didn't make any new ideas, and that stressed me out. And yeah. And at some point, drawing became just physical pain. And it might sound very dramatic, but I'm not joking. There was just something about the tension and the effort that made me feel that after I wasn't painting, I was running a marathon. I had to actually take a break every now and then because I was just so exhausted physically, not even mentally, you know, what you would expect. I was exhausted physically. I had to lay down and stretch and just I wanted to forget about it completely. So I stopped drawing completely somewhere in mid-July. And I sat down to really think about what I wanted to do with my art. What direction I wanted to take. Because you have to remember that I'm not only a self-taught illustrator, I have no practical disposition whatsoever. I'm self-taught in any business matters that concern my business, and it always comes really, really hard to me. I learn mostly through trial and error, more error than you could probably imagine. I've done a lot of mistakes since I started working as an illustrator. And, you know, that actually might be a good idea, like a good topic for another video. So just let me know if you would like me to talk about that. Leave a comment or something. So basically, you know, there I was, thinking hard about why I'm failing at painting. At least, I know it's probably over dramatized, but that's how I felt at the time. I've also discovered Skillshare around the same time because I just wanted to do something different for a change. And if you don't know, Skillshare is this website that just people are making classes for others, and you pay a little fee and you have access to all the classes, you can learn stuff. So I was watching lots of videos on Skillshare on pretty much anything, like watercolors, sketching, having goals, and freelancing. And I'm not going to be making a whole video about what exactly I've done to resolve my problems, but I just wanted to mention some conclusions that I came to. That's, I think, the most important thing in this video. So after weeks of thinking, the first thing I've realized is that I don't have goals. For the longest time, my goal was to just work as an illustrator. And that was that. And I've achieved that already. And so what's next? I really never gave it a thought. This was just, I'm working as an illustrator, period. So the next thing I realized is that while I really, really love making those detailed fantasy illustrations, I would also like to paint different things, just explore different uses, I suppose, of my art. Because there are so many different things that illustrations can be used for, and I'm only sticking to one. I'm limiting myself to just this one thing, and while there's nothing wrong with that, I just wanted to explore. That's when I thought about it, it felt so right to me, like, oh yeah, that's what I want to do. That's when I realized that perhaps, you know, that might be one of the problems I've had, just painting the same thing over and over. So I've ended up writing down some long and short-term goals, more short-term than longer ones. I still have problems with thinking ahead in the future. And of course I started planning out how to achieve them. And the idea of having a plan was very liberating to me. I had a clear steps to where I wanted to be. Like, I had a clear plan of how I wanted to get there. Whether I would get there or not is remain, to be seen, but it's just, I knew exactly what I had to do next. And that was really, really nice for a change, because really for the longest time, I was just kind of drifting, trying to, have the ends meet at the end of the month, and that was that. So as I've said, my work goals are really short term, but I find that to be a very good start. Hopefully, at some point, they will expand into a bit longer term goals. We'll see about that. One very important thing on that list was to learn how to sketch. Not really get back into sketching. I just really had to learn how to sketch and how to generate. I love that word, generate. I've overused it, I know. But I needed to learn how to make those easy, loose ideas, a lot of them, and then work from there. I've decided to use a challenge to kind of kickstart it, I suppose. And I thought about making a 30-day sketchbook challenge again. I've done one of those back last year. And it was a success. Not exactly what I had in mind for sketching. I wanted to be a bit more loose and I didn't want my illustrations to be so refined-ish. Mostly thumbnails and stuff. But I thought, just having a challenge would kind of help me build up that nice habit. But very quickly, once I was thinking about it, I realized that it probably needs to be longer. And so somewhere in August, at the beginning of August, I've started a 365 days sketchbook challenge. And it's been going great because I usually need a bit of extra motivation. I've also created a Facebook group for the challenge, and some really nice like-minded people joined, and we're kind of like supporting each other. It really helps me remember about it, and because sometimes when I work or do something else, the days pass so quickly that I don't even give it a thought. I should, just pick a half an hour and sit down and do some loose sketches based on the things, for example, I've been doing a whole day, for example. And having that group and having people to doing the same thing is kind of like guides me, I suppose you could say. It's very good to have like-minded people with you when you're doing something like that. Another important goal is this YouTube channel, because I love this channel. I love making videos, and it pains me every time I miss one or I have to stop. I want it to grow, I want the channel to grow. It's fun. It's fun looking at how people react to my videos. I love hearing when those videos help other people or inspire them. It's just the biggest kick you can get as an artist, in my opinion. So I took a closer look on how I'm creating the videos and how long it takes me, because it takes way too long to make one video for it to be doable. Well, I have my other things. I have other things to do. I'm not a full-time YouTuber, but I still want to make that video a week. So I really took a closer look about how I was doing things. Oh, the coffee kick. So I took some time doing this. Actually, I was dissecting my whole process. But I think I'm really confident now to stick to the one video a week schedule. There will be some changes because, as I've said, I'm not a full-time YouTuber, but I'm really, really confident here. Usually when I was making that kind of decision that I'm going to restart the channel, and yes, that's exactly what's happening. I would think, something along the lines of, yeah, I will make it work somehow. It's gonna be fine. But this time I really have the how part down, and I really hope it's going to work this time. So yeah, I will be out. Oh, goodness, this is what happens when I want to make a nice word. Alternating. See, I can pronounce that. So I will be alternating. I will be alternating painting videos, just the regular painting videos, but mostly in a smaller format. You can probably expect less detailed illustrations, at least for a while. But they will be there, so that's good, I hope. So you'll get painting videos, and then I will be alternating them with chatting videos on different topics. And I'll also be hoping to sneak in some how-to videos, because I've been getting questions about those also for the longest time. So if you have any suggestions or would like me to talk about something specific, or to show you how I do something, I suppose, just tell me in the comments or send me a message on Facebook, wherever you feel comfortable, and I will be adding those ideas to my list of things to do, because I've been collecting those ideas actually since the beginning of the channel, really. So hopefully you will enjoy that. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Now I would really love to have that, interesting and witty outro, but like we've already established, that's a bit of a problem. So I would just really like to thank you so very much for sticking with me all this time, and for showing me encouragement. And yeah, stay tuned for more. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!